We need to clear something up. It is the law regarding free speech. People keep excusing offensive speech by saying, well, they have the right to say it. You can't stop them from saying it. The First Amendment is about government action, not societal boundaries. Now, that is a distinction with a huge difference. Congress shall make no law establishing religion or restricting your ability to practice or abridging free speech in all its forms, peaceful assembly, press, redress of government, etc. You know this. But that doesn't mean you can say whatever you want without consequence because of the First Amendment. That only applies to government restriction or consequence, not to any privately held concern, like what? Social media. Elon Musk could kick you off if he doesn't like what you say. It's a business. Now, it's a larger discussion about whether or not it really is a business or whether it's a newspaper, but we're not having that conversation, okay? And businesses can be influenced by their customer base or by anything they choose to be influenced by. So, no, it's not as simple as you can espouse any kind of anti-Semitism you want and it's okay because you're protected by the First Amendment. The right to say it is protected from Congress passing any laws that restrict your right to say such things. Same with any bigotry. But what you're seeing right now is not okay. These people in Charlottesville, hate speech. The protection is from Congress passing laws. Doesn't mean that you get protection from consequences for what you say, protection from the rest of us. So the idea that someone who says something has a right to say it needs a tail, meaning, sure, there's a right to say it. But does society believe it is right for you to say it? Meaning, the government can't pass a law to restrict their speech, but your boss can, teacher can, co-workers, social media, organized political actions, media action. They all can create a consequence for you because that is their right to exercise speech in the form of rejecting you and anyone who supports or employs you, including the power of their purse. I will not buy what you sell if that person is there. So that's the reality. And it leads us to the harder question, not about they have a right. It's what is right? What is okay to say? And who gets to dictate that? And what happens when you say something that's not okay? This is not a question of law, but culture. And ours is in flux. Now, interestingly, the law has moved steadily toward protecting more and more forms of speech over time. It didn't used to be like it is today. That really now government is proscribed from laws that have anything to do with what used to be called fighting words, hate speech. It's all protected now. And the law has been evolving in the direction of protection. But our culture seems to be moving in the opposite direction. That takes us to Ye and Kyrie Irving, the NBA star, picking up where Ye left off, putting out anti-Semitic material on social media. He then doubled down at a press conference, so now he's being protested at games. He took down the post, but now there are calls for him to be off the team. While the other side is saying, no, 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 he's a free speech symbol. This is not about free speech. It's about how we treat ideas that we don't like. And here comes the part that's going to make people upset. And that's okay. It's okay. There is a problem with this idea of a crowdsourced consequence where you silence, cancel, censor the ideas that you don't like. First, there's a practical one. I don't think it's effective in terms of achieving your goal. You empower the messages that you go after because in the new media age, you're not keeping something from being said or printed or out there. The rejection only makes it more desirable. Wait until Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett's book comes out. After more than 600 now, it started it as like 200, 250, now it's 600. Literary figures wrote an open letter asking the publisher to cancel the deal because basically they don't like the Roe decision being vacated. That book is going to sell like hotcakes. You've created sympathy for Amy Coney Barrett. Now, by the way, I agree with their complaint about the case, but not the remedy. You give power to ideas when you tell people not to listen to them. You make people sympathetic or even stars on social media. You make ideas more enticing because they seem to scare others into wanting to silence them. Why? Why are people so afraid of this? I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. And I think the idea of America points in the same direction. I believe in letting the best idea win and giving bad ideas a full hearing, because that is how you get the majority motivated, and let a minority that holds an obnoxious or hateful notion to be very secure in the reality that they are the least among us. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.